woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it...
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I give them my dues. Never got a talk to a nigga like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line of views in this deer. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, I asked her man, cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's is the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
On first down, Newton. He completes it to Jordan Nelson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Hey. What's it? 780? Gun.
Play action. It's Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Newton. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. First and 10, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Ellington. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It's a big play there for the Saints. 48 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now McCoy, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. LaShawn McCoy, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Saints add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Throwing, Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready? Like 80.
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Here we go. Set. 180.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Out of the gun, Newton. Caught by Nelson left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy. He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field. Could they blitz? Now Jones. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Here we go. Grand 38.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Off the bootleg. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. To give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Back to throw. Jones. Pryor has it complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Jones throwing on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Now the pitch to Freeman. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
4 down, check. Ready.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
You got him. You got him.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Here's Newton now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Gun. Hey!
Throwing on third down, Newton. Wide open receiver, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. This give is to McCoy. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Ashawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he's going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Third and 11, and some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. A shotgun snap for Newton. It's caught. Nelson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Here we go. Gun.
From the gun, here's Newton. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Saints add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Jones now looking to throw on second down. Flush to his right.
And this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Rams on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Jones, operating from the gun, escaping the pressure right. That'll be incomplete as the clock. We'll stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Throw to the right, taken in by Barrios. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Rams on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Barrett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Dylan Cole, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
go. Win.
10th carry now for McCoy. And he's got some space here. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. Touchdown, New Orleans. LaShawn McCoy, 59 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak. He scores 3 times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Flex round! Flex round! Watch 88! Watch 88!
On 2nd down, Barrett. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Rock now. Take a step. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go,
A give to McCoy. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Four down, check.
Again, it's McCoy. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Now Newton. Hard throw, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
On the counter, here's McCoy. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Come on now.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, watch 28. Right here, right here.
To throw is Newton. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Rams on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 2.
To throw is Barrett. Eluding the pressure right. He'll let it go deep for Freeman. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big conversion there for the Rams on third down. 48 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
Freeman again. He will push his way down to about the 14. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw on third down. Barrett. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Akenna Witherspoon. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. is White. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Finding room at the 30. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Here's McCoy. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run with White. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on now. Four down. Check. Set. 180.
They stay on the ground with White. And some room to roam now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Four down. Check. Set. 180.
They'll run it with McCoy. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Here we go. Set. Like 80.
is there good enough to keep the drive moving.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Here we go.
And they take a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Saints, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for L.A., the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.